Like, have you thought about, if Donald Trump wins, have you thought about the possibility he might use the power of the federal government against you personally?
Yeah, I have, but I'm comforted in the fact that he's coming after you first.
That makes you feel better?
Yeah. You know that theory about you don't have to be faster than the bear, you just have to be faster than the one kid? You're that one kid, pal.
I'm the kid. Yeah. I'm the slow boy.
George Clooney is no stranger to the spotlight, but these days, it's not the kind of attention he's used to. The once untouchable A-list star and Hollywood's go-to heartthrob is now facing a brutal backlash that has some wondering if his time as one of the industry's favorite leading men is over. George Clooney has long been a Hollywood icon, rising to fame with his breakout role as Dr. Doug Ross on ER before transitioning into a blockbuster film career with hits like Ocean's 11, Michael Clayton, and Up in the Air. Known for his charm, wit, and advocacy, Clooney has balanced his work as an actor and director with humanitarian efforts, earning him a reputation as one of Hollywood's most respected figures. The drama, oh, it's juicy, and it's got everything. Political feuds, career-ending decisions, and even a falling out with one of his closest allies. Let's dive into the mess Clooney finds himself in, and why it seems like all of Hollywood has turned its back on him. It all started with a commercial, yes, a commercial, that somehow managed to tank Clooney's reputation in one fell swoop. Critics called it preachy, overly political, and divisive, and it didn't take long for the public to pile on. Clooney has always been vocal about his political views, but this time it backfired spectacularly. The backlash was swift, and major studios like Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Legendary Pictures didn't waste any time distancing themselves from the drama. Projects Clooney had in the works, like the long-rumored Ocean's 14, were suddenly shelved. Talk about a plot twist. Just a few years ago, Clooney was Hollywood royalty, and now he can't even get a phone call back. But wait, it gets messier. Clooney's troubles aren't just professional, they're personal too. The actor recently found himself feuding with none other than former President Barack Obama, a man Clooney once considered a close friend. Here's the tea. Earlier this year, Clooney wrote a scathing op-ed urging President Joe Biden to step aside for a younger, more dynamic candidate in the 2024 election.
You, as everyone knows
Yes.
now, in July you wrote an op-ed in the New York Times that...
Gonna get right into that.
That
We have time for one more question.
And it may well have did actually change the world. I mean, it had an enormous impact on the presidential election, right?
I don't know that that's true. There was
do.
an awful lot of people.
Yeah, it was, well,
Listen, the bottom line is, as you know, I've
Let's
now
not skip
said,
right to the bottom line.
The bottom line is that it's very hard to let go of power, and President Biden did something really extraordinary.
He claimed Biden's age and recent performances were liabilities for the Democratic Party. Bold move, right? Well, it turns out Clooney didn't come up with that idea on his own. Rumor has it that Obama nudged Clooney into writing the piece, knowing full well it could stir the pot. The op-ed did exactly that. Biden eventually stepped down, clearing the way for Kamala Harris to take the Democratic ticket, only for her to lose to Donald Trump in a shocking election upset. Cue the finger pointing, and guess who's at the center of it all? That's right, George Clooney. Democrats are fuming, claiming Clooney's public criticism of Biden destabilized their campaign and handed Trump the win on a silver platter. Social media has been ruthless, with everyone from political pundits to regular voters blaming Clooney for the election disaster. Thanks for nothing, George, one commenter snarked online. Ouch. And now, Clooney is reportedly furious with Obama for leaving him to take all the heat. Sources close to the actor say he feels used and manipulated by his old friend. The two have reportedly been at odds ever since the election fallout, with Clooney accusing Obama of pushing him into the line of fire and then disappearing when things went south. Can you imagine? One day you're hobnobbing at fancy fundraisers, and the next, your so-called ally is ghosting you. Talk about a bad breakup. The Hollywood fallout has been just as brutal. Clooney is now persona non grata with the big studios. Warner Brothers, done with him. Paramount, no thanks. Legendary Pictures, hard pass. Sources say Clooney has been scrambling to salvage his career, but the offers are drying up faster than you can say box office flop. He's reportedly shifting his focus to smaller, low-budget productions because, well, that's all he's got left. It's a far cry from the days when Clooney was one of the most sought-after stars in the industry, with studios practically begging him to sign on to their next big project. And it's not just the studios giving Clooney the cold shoulder. His fellow stars aren't exactly rushing to defend him either. Julia Roberts, Clooney's longtime friend and co-star, has also faced backlash for appearing in the same controversial commercial that started all this drama. While Clooney has reportedly been trying to stick up for her behind the scenes, it's not doing him any favors. Insiders say the backlash against Roberts has only added fuel to the fire, making Clooney look even worse by association. If you think Clooney's troubles stop there, think again. His ongoing feud with Donald Trump has been reignited, with the former president taking every opportunity to mock the actor. Trump recently called Clooney a fake movie actor and told him to get out of politics. Clooney never one to back down, fired back during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, quipping that he'd leave politics if Trump did.
Trump is a big fan of yours. I don't know if you've seen this, but he posted in July. So now fake movie actor George Clooney,
Yeah,
he doesn't know that movies are fake, does he?
I don't think so.
Who never
Hannibal
came
Lecter
close
is his guy.
to making a great movie, is getting into the act. He's turned on Crooked Joe like the rats they both are. What does Clooney know about anything, says the host of Celebrity Apprentice. Clooney should get out of politics and go back to television. Movies never really work for him.
All right, I will if he does.
The exchange got laughs, sure, but it also highlighted just how polarizing Clooney has become. Love him or hate him, everyone seems to have an opinion, and most of it isn't good. So, what's next for George Clooney? Well, if insiders are to be believed, he's in full-on damage control mode. He's reportedly furious that his career has taken such a hit and is determined to claw his way back to relevance. But with major studios steering clear and his political ties in shambles, it's looking like an uphill battle. Clooney's team is said to be exploring smaller-scale projects with indie studios. But let's be real, that's a far cry from the Hollywood blockbusters he used to headline. The irony in all this? Just a few years ago, Clooney seemed untouchable. He was the epitome of Hollywood success. Talented, charming, and respected both on and off the screen. Now, he's scrambling to stay afloat, caught in the crossfire of a Hollywood that no longer seems willing to tolerate its stars getting too political. Whether you see Clooney as a victim of his own ambition or just another casualty of the shifting cultural tides, one thing's for sure, this is a chapter in his career that no one saw coming. So has Hollywood really turned on George Clooney? It sure seems that way. Between the backlash over his political stances, the studio snubs, and the fallout with Obama, Clooney's world has been turned upside down. Whether he can bounce back or if this marks the end of his reign as a Hollywood heavyweight remains to be seen. But for now, the drama is real. The stakes are high, and all eyes are on Clooney as he navigates this very public fall from grace. Stay tuned, because something tells us this story is far from over. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think George Clooney can bounce back, or has Hollywood truly turned its back on him? Let us know in the comments below.